Hi, I'm Mike, PokeTips Mike, and it's that exciting time again. Pokemon just revealed their fourth brand new Mega Evolution, Mega Malamar. Considering how regular Malamar is able to wield the most compelling hypnotic powers of any Pokemon, it makes sense why the teaser trailers for this thing were so strange. That being said, there's no way Hypnosis makes you buy this much Malamar merch. I think this guy just really likes his buddy Malamar.
With Malamar in my rear view, there's no job I can't do.
There is just so much to talk about with Mega Malamar, so today we are going to be doing a deep dive. So here's everything you need to know about Mega Malamar. Wait, when did you get here? Don't do it! It's so slender! It's so long! Oh! This thing looks goofy too! Dude, that's like such a big head, massive brain, big brain Malamar. Physically, Malamar slimmed down a lot, while somehow almost doubling its height and adding almost 50 pounds to its weight. All that weight must have gone to its massive noggin upstairs. We've got Mega Mind in Pokemon now. One of my favorite things about Mega Malamar's design is it seems to have some really fascinating real-world inspirations. To me, it seems like it might be based on the cuttlefish, a squid-like animal famous for its ability to change colors for camouflage. Cuttlefish can even create pulsing rainbow-like patterns across their bodies, which some researchers even claim can hypnotize their prey. Huh, that seems kind of familiar. And honestly, I think Mega Malamar's design nails exactly what they're going for. They wanted to give off genius supervillain vibes. I mean, even back in the Pokemon anime, Malamar tried to literally take over the world. And take a look at this description right here. Its enhanced psychic power can take over someone's personality. Malamar's brain has become enlarged as a result of Mega Evolution. Greatly enhanced psychic power overflows from its body, emitting a bright glow. This vividly colored light further amplifies the Pokemon's hypnotic abilities, hey Cuttlefish, allowing it to freely overwrite the personalities or even memories of others. We've got Gilderoy Lockhart from Harry Potter over here. This power is terrifying and can make somebody seem like an entirely different person. I know Pokemon overall aren't supposed to be evil, but this guy? Not giving off good guy vibes. Like, just compare it to Pecharunt, right? Pecharunt, another Pokemon that takes over people's minds, poison puppeteer and all that. Sure, it feeds people mochi, makes them do weird dances, and takes over their minds, but at least from Pecharunt's point of view, it doesn't think it's a bad guy. Malamar and Mega Malamar time and time again have shown that they like taking people's minds over, and will gladly do it if given the chance. Malamar says you should give this video a thumbs up. Get to know Mega Malamar. So Mega Evolution has caused its brain to swell and its psychic power is significantly enhanced. Type-wise, there's going to be zero change at all. It's still dark and psychic, giving it a massive bug-type weakness. And hey, with its body being that thin, this thing might just get one-shot by every U-turn in existence. Mega Malamar is also said to be highly intelligent with a clever and haughty personality. It's glowing, I love it when Pokemon teaches me new words, undulating, to move in a smooth, wave-like motion. But anyway, its glowing, undulating tendrils are able to pick up on the feelings of those around it. It prefers battling with efficiency, using its powerful intellect to analyze the situation with level-headedness as it fights. Mega Malamar views others, even Pokemon trainers, as its pawns. If it disagrees with an order given to it by a trainer, it will sometimes respond by hypnotizing them, making this an incredibly difficult Pokemon to interact with. It can stick its tentacles into its head and stimulate its brain for a rapid boost of psychic power. So it can just tickle its brain, tickle, 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 and then bang! Extreme psychic energy. We see that in the trailer, actually, right before it, ends the broadcast, if you will. Mega Malamar attacks with a sudden burst of concentrated psychic power. Why? You're a dark type. Why are you attacking an Alakazam with a psychic type move? You're supposed to be so smart. What is this? Alright, now let's talk about Mega Malamar's potential shiny. First, comparing regular Malamar to shiny Malamar, a lot of the blue and purple changed to green and yellow. So I would say it's very likely that that's what's going to happen on the shiny form as well. For what I think is probably a fantastic representation of what we're actually going to see, we've got to go to our friend Cardinal H over on Twitter. Again, it's amazing how they make these designs within 30 minutes of the official reveal for the Pokemon. And if this concept comes anywhere close to what the actual shiny for Mega Malamar looks like, I think people are going to go crazy trying to shiny hunt this thing. The colors are so vibrant and look beautiful. And honestly, I think this is going to be very close to how the official shiny looks. The head looks very similar to Malamar's regular shiny, the body being green. They're not going to change that. The only things that I think might look significantly different is maybe this little pink tentacle over here that might be a different color, and of course the rainbow part on its body. But as far as concepts go, this looks fantastic, and I'm sure it's going to be very close to what we see in game. Now let's talk about its potential ability. As we know, in Pokemon Legends ZA, there are no abilities, but in Generation 10 Pokemon Champions, there will be abilities, so I think it's always fun to speculate and talk about this. Malamar is in a pretty interesting situation because it has 3 abilities right now, but really only one of them is actually good, Contrary. The ability that makes it so stat changes have an opposite effect. Not only does this protect Malamar from stuff like Intimidate, where if Pokemon like Incineroar comes in and intimidates you, which would normally lower your attack, it'll raise your attack, but it makes it so Malamar can use moves like Superpower to raise its attack and defense every time it's used instead of lowering it. This is a pretty amazing ability, especially on a Pokemon like Malamar, where its base stats to begin with aren't too great, only 482. Sure, Mega Evolution will change that to 582, but it's still nothing crazy. So I could see this going a couple of different ways. Number one, they just keep Contrary. It's a great ability, and quite honestly, it's worth keeping around. Or, and this is more fun, I feel like we could do a little speculation on an ability that it might potentially get. Now, with the comparison to Pecharunt that I made earlier, I think it's fair to compare potential abilities as well. Pecharunt has an ability, Poison Puppeteer, which makes it so when Pokemon are poisoned by Pecharunt's moves, they also become confused. I could see Malamar getting a very similar ability, let's call it Mind Scan, where when Mega Malamar puts a Pokemon to sleep, it also becomes confused when it wakes up. I feel like that plays pretty well into the whole like mind control theme of Mega Malamar. However, the only sleep move that Malamar seems to get is Hypnosis. 60% accuracy, not the greatest move. However, we could very quickly break it if we also give Malamar a brand new signature move. Taking a look at Sneasler, Sneasler gets this really ridiculous move, Dire Claw, which not only does damage, it has 80 base power, so it's pretty strong, and poison-type stab, but it also has a 50% chance of applying either poison, paralysis, or putting the target to sleep. One move does all those things. So let's say we copy that style of move and bring it over to Mega Malamar. Give it a brand new move, 80 base power, and has a 20 or 30% chance of putting the Pokemon that it hits to sleep. That by itself would just be busted. Damage and sleep from one attack is crazy. But combine it with that ability and you'd have a very, very powerful Mega Evolution. Might be too powerful, honestly. Now, like I mentioned before, its base stat total is only 482. Usually when Pokemon Mega Evolve, they get an extra 100 base stat total, so this is probably going to end up being around 582. Unless they make some crazy exception for Malamar because he's just a really good friend. The design of Malamar is kind of throwing me for a loop here, which might be the intention. Normal Malamar likes to run slower, actually. Most people run it as a Trick Room Pokemon because its base speed 73 isn't exactly the highest. And for those of you that don't know, Trick Room makes it so the slower Pokemon move first for I believe 5 turns, including the turn that it's used. Honestly, this design is not helping me out here. I'm still pretty confused on what I think the base stats are going to be. They could keep it a Trick Room Mon and keep that speed pretty low, or quite honestly, they could just give it the typical like boost up the attack ridiculously high, boost up the speed ridiculously high, so maybe make it like 113 speed and then 150 or 160 attack while taking some points away from defense, maybe raising the special defense up a little higher. That could be interesting, but this is honestly something that I just want to see when the game comes out, what the official stat spread is going to be. We were also talking about maybe making it a special attacker and raising the special defense up a little higher on my stream, but just looking at its moveset right now, it doesn't really get a lot of special moves by level up. Obviously that could change, but I think true to the base Malamar, it should stay a physical attacker. Let me know down in the comments section what you think the stats are going to be like, and if you like this design or not. As for me, I love my good friend Malamar.